Welcome to the dojo. That's right, Chad here with Greenlight Life. Today, we are building an all-custom, all-wood computer desk. Now, we're gonna try and keep this build under like 75 bucks. Just kind of use the basics, and we're gonna have hopefully what is a beautiful, very functional, very sturdy, robust desk for our priceless computers and workspace. So today you're gonna need a couple tools. First up, you're gonna need a saw of some kind. I've got a circular saw here, a miter saw, a table saw will be great. You can even go with a hand saw if you want. You're gonna need a drill for sure. I've also got an orbital sander here. You don't need this, you can roll with just some sandpaper. And then you're also going to want a pocket hole jig. Now I do have links to these things down in the video description below. Oh, don't forget your eye protection and your fedora. Let's do this. Step one, you gotta go buy your lumber. Now I just went to Home Depot, grab yourself 3 boards of 2x10s. So 2 is kind of the thickness here, 10 is the width across here, that's 10 inches. When you're at the lumber store, make sure to grab the flattest, straightest boards you can. It's gonna help out a bunch. So grab them, hold this way, make sure that you've got a pretty straight surface to work with. Hold them this way, make sure they're not like veering one way or the other too much. Like I said, that's gonna save you a ton of time down the road. Step 2, cut these things down to length. So cut off one end of your board so you have a nice straight edge to work with. Take your tape measure. I didn't mention tape measure on the tools list, so I'm letting you know now you need a tape measure. Measure up to 60 inches, lop that off with your saw. Step 3, and this is optional. If you have access to bigger tools like a table saw, you can run these edges along your table saw to get a nice flat straight edge. So when the boards join up, they join up very evenly and smoothly. And then you can also run these in a planer to essentially just kind of flatten out and smooth out the top of the board. Now, if you don't have access to those tools, don't worry, it's not a big deal. Essentially, the difference is going to be that you're gonna have that sort of rounded factory edge on the edges, so they might not fit up perfectly flush. There might be a little bit of unevenness, there might be a little bit of gap, but you know, it's really not a big deal, especially if you're kind of going for that farmhouse look. Sometimes it's even a nice look, so just keep that in mind. If you have the tools, go that extra step. If you don't, it's not a big deal. What are we on step 4? Step 4 is you're just gonna align your boards next to each other how you want them to lay. One thing to keep in mind here is look at the end grain and you see how it's kind of going like this, and then this one's kind of going like a U, and then this one's kind of like an N. So alternate these because it's gonna help keep your boards flat. They kind of tend to want to warp in the direction that that end grain is going. So when you alternate them, it kind of cancels out some of that warp. So step 5 is we're going to mark our pocket holes. So I've got this tabletop flipped over, making sure to keep your boards in the same orientation they were at before. And then we're going to mark where we want our pocket hole. So I've got one 2 inches in from the edges on each of these boards. And then I'm just evenly spacing out the other pocket holes, and I'm alternating. So one on this board, one on this board, one on this board, one on this board. And that's going to evenly pull these boards in together once we get those screws in. Let's get these things drilled now. All right, so our next step is to actually throw some glue on this. Now, I did run these through a table saw on the edges, so they have flat edges that are going to butt up together. So I'm gonna use this glue. If you didn't do that, I would still probably add glue, but our pocket holes are gonna be really important for those if they're not super flat edges. I'm using Titebond 3. This stuff is probably overkill for something like this, but you know, any of the Titebond wood glues are a good way to go. One thing you do wanna do is make sure you get enough glue on there. So once you get some squeezed out, take something like a credit card or a paint scraper or something, and just go through and really spread this out across. Like, you even want more than that. Like, you almost want the consistency of this to look like you painted it. Like, it's maybe not fully opaque, but it covers pretty much the entirety of these edges here. And then do your best to pick up the spill as it goes over the sides. And you don't have to do this on both sides. Like, if 2 edges are touching, you just have to do it on one of the edges that will be touching the other. So I'm just gonna do it on this edge and then this edge of the middle board. Another thing I should mention is I've got these sitting up here on pipe clamps. You don't need to do that. Obviously we're just in my studio. I had these around, so I'm gonna use them. But all they're really doing for me is making sure that, they're kind of keeping the glue off the table and things like that. Just take care to not get too much glue on the bottom here where it'll end up gluing itself to the table, because that's never fun. Okay, so this is the bottom of the table, and it is currently gluing up. While that glue is drying, since it's all clamped together, I'm just gonna throw these pocket hole screws in, especially if you, like I said, didn't rip off the edges and make them flat. Once you throw the glue on, get them on there, and then just get either someone to hold them together if you have clamps, and then throw these in there to really solidify that bond between the glue. If you did rip the edges, you can wait for it to dry and then do this afterward. You don't need to do it right now. I'm just doing it right now for the sake of this video to show you. Another optional step, if you have a router, I just threw a round over bit. I'm gonna go around the whole edge just to give it a nice smooth edge all along the corner. If you don't have one, it's really not a big deal, especially if you're using factory wood and you didn't cut off these edges, because you're already gonna have sort of that factory rounded edge. So not a big deal either way, but I'm gonna do it right here. All right, so once this thing is all glued up and solid with the pocket holes and everything, if you don't have a router, by the way, and you didn't round the edges with it, you can do that with a piece of sandpaper and at least take that sharp edge off of it so that it gives you a little bit more comfort. But in any case, we got these edges all rounded up. Now I'm gonna run a sander over this whole thing. So I've got 80 grit sandpaper, 120 grit, and then 220 grit. So you probably wanna go up to about that 220 grit to make it nice and smooth. Pay special attention to where the seams are between the two boards. That's where you can kind of get a little bit unevenness, and the sander does help out quite a bit there. Okay, well, we've got ourselves a really nice looking tabletop back there. Let's go ahead and get it stained up. I'm gonna use this pre-stain first. So this is from Minwax. Make sure you use a pre-stain if you're using this kind of lumber. So this is, again, just the off-the-shelf construction grade lumber from Home Depot. It's pine, and it's a very soft, porous wood, meaning if you just throw stain on it, it'll get absorbed, it'll get absorbed a lot in some places and not so much in others and look really, really blotchy. So make sure to put a pre-stain on before staining this thing. So let's go ahead and get this all pre-stained up. All right, so that pre-stain was on there for about 15 minutes. I wiped off the excess with a rag. Now I'm gonna be using some Espresso stain here, and I'm probably gonna throw like at least 2, maybe even 3 coats on, because once you put this pre-stain on, the stain, the first coat especially, really doesn't get that dark. So I'm gonna throw this first coat on here, and then we are going to, oh my, that looks very dark after I said it doesn't look dark. But we're gonna throw this first coat on, and then we're gonna wipe it off after about 15 minutes again, and then we're gonna leave it overnight, come back, throw another coat on. And here it is, the completed desk. I'm honestly extremely happy with it. It cost me just about $70 to build. $35 for the tabletop and $35 for these legs that I found on HomeDepot.com. Add in a few bucks for stain and screws, and that's all you need. So I hope this inspires you to get out and build your own. And that's just the start. You could add all sorts of cool stuff to this, like cord management, LED lighting, really whatever you can think of. So thanks so much for watching. Hit those like and subscribe buttons if you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, leave them down in the comments below and I'll do my best to get to them. And if you would like to commission a custom build, shoot me an email and I would love to work together. More info is in the description. I'll see you guys next time.